All right, guys. We are here today. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Whew. All right. Let's see. Tesla up to 435. SPY up to 595.50. Did it run yesterday too? It kind of did. Q sitting up at 524s. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today, but we're back home. Yeah. The volume seems kind of low to me. I had to turn the music volume up. Let me know if it's good. So I know the market closes early today. Hey, Merry Christmas, guys. I appreciate it. Half day. What's up, Kim, X, Lenny, K, Stoned, DP, Pop, Vassal, Crypto, Billy, Lewis, Sam, Augustin, John, Scoobs, Faye, Guy, Julius, Eden, Ray, Keegan, Oro, Mike, Martin. What's up, chat? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. All right. So all right, so here's the SPY. SPY's gapping up a little bit today. The big question on the day is, will we get a Santa rally? We don't really have any economic data coming out today, so we don't really have anything dropping. Yesterday, I didn't even realize we had durable goods, building permits, CB consumer confidence data, and a whole gang of other stuff. Today, we don't really have anything. It's boring. Wednesday, the market's closed. Thursday, we got jobless claims. Friday, we got Case-Shiller and house price index data. So kind of a slow week, to be honest. We don't really have much going on this week. The markets are boring. The market doesn't really heat back up, to be honest, until not next week. Next week's boring too. The market doesn't really heat back up in terms of economic data. I think until the week of like the 6th is when it heats back up. Let me see. Services. ISM services and jolts. Okay. Wednesday. Okay, yeah, so we don't really have an economic big data week until the week of the 6th. The week of the 6th through the 10th. That week we have ISM. That week we got ISM services and jolts jobs. We have non-farm employment change data, jobless claims numbers, as well as non-farm payrolls and unemployment. And then the week after that, I think we have CPI, if I'm not mistaken here. So we got a couple slow weeks. But I'd rather it be slow, because I'm going to be busy a lot, to be honest here. Dude, I'm going to be traveling a lot over the next couple months, or next couple weeks. And so Yeah, my mom's staying at my house to watch my dogs, and I'm gonna be moving. And so it's probably better that we're busy, or we're not super busy doing stuff. Boring days, yeah, maybe. GameStop is the only play. I mean, I like GameStop, don't get me wrong, like I do. But you wouldn't consider GameStop a little, I don't know. It looks good. I mean, I can't knock the chart in GameStop, honestly. Like, here's GameStop right here. Oh, there's GameStop. I can't knock the long-term chart. If I put up a 4-hour chart, it's not a bad-looking chart, to be honest. The real question is, what do the fundamentals of the company look like? You know, like, we can have all these, ooh, we're going to squeeze, and it's a conspiracy, and we're going to make it go crazy, and all of us shareholders are going to pump it up. You know, we could do all that. But the real question is, what does the stock look like fundamentally? And I think that's a more important question, and I think that's a worse answer question, which is not great. You know, not great. GameStop doesn't make any money. And so, you know, the other thing is like this, man. Like, you saw it in the movie. Right? GameStop, like, I don't know if y'all have ever been to a GameStop, but they have one of the worst corporate cultures of any company ever. Right? Like, it was even in the Dumb Money movie. Like, in the Dumb Money movie, the GameStop and their employees were kind of like crappy to the dude who made a bunch of money investing in the company. So I'm not a big believer in like pumping up bad corporate culture companies to punish bad corporate culture. You know? Like, that seems nonsensical to me. But hey, listen, I'm for it. I want it to go up. I'm not against it. Didn't you just move in? Move in where? Let me get the scroller. This scroller's just straight up wrong. Hope you have a great Christmas, Trampas. Wishes to you and your loved ones. You as well, guys. I hope all you guys have a great holiday. You know, hope y'all enjoy it. Hope you visit with family. That's what it's for, you know. Thought you just bought a place. I bought an investment property like a couple months ago. We've been in this place for a while, years. Oh, is that Kim? Oh, that's your Kim. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we bought an investment property. Sorry, I didn't realize. We bought an investment property like 3 months ago. It's a rental property. We had to get some work done on it after we bought it. And so, you know, now we're kind of in the stages of, I got to get it moved over to an LLC first. And that's going to be a pain. And then we're going to throw tenants in there. Johnny, grow up. Fam, look at the charts if you know technical analysis, the Bollinger Bands. GameStop is the only play run. Oh, you're talking about that, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not against GameStop. I wonder, like, when, like, at a certain point, you have to stop looking at a company like some super secret, speculative, technical squeeze play. Because it's been years of that now. Like, when does it pivot to healthy fundamentals? Because that's what it needs to do, right? Like, it's not going to be able to sustain. Eventually, it's not going to hold. Eventually, it's going to stop running. And eventually, people who bought it for that are going to sell it. That's just the reality of it. Not unless it has good fundamentals, you know. It's already made the parabolic move, too, right? Like, everybody that invested in it way back is already pretty wealthy from it. The narrative. Yeah, no, I understand. It was GameStop versus Wall Street. It was retail versus Wall Street, and retail won for one of the first times in history that retail won. I understand, right? I just don't want to see them lose now. They're not going to be able to win forever in GameStop is the point. They're just not, right? Like, GameStop has made too many decisions since then as well. The float's not as small as it once was if we look at GameStop, right? If we look at GameStop float, it used to be like 30 million, 40 million. Like, in the peak of the squeeze movement, it was like 40 million, which is a relatively small float, right? Like, you can influence a 40 million float if you got a big enough following, and GameStop did, right? The issue is that they have diluted their company since then, and, you know, hold on, let me see. What's the float of GameStop? Somebody help me out here. I'm sure somebody's going to give it to me before I can look it up. Gross EBITDA float is 400 million now. So they've literally 10x'd the float since the big crazy GameStop squeeze movement. If you want to know why GameStop's not making some crazy squeeze like it did in 2021, it's because it's got 10 times the float that it did. It's got 10 times the amount of shares out there, right? Which means it's much harder to move. And so, you know, having this narrative of, oh, it's going to make a big squeeze, like, maybe. I hope it does. I hope it punishes Wall Street. If I got to pick a side, I'm picking GameStop. But is it feasible is the question you should be asking yourselves. And I don't know. I don't know if it is. All right, let's do a poll here. Oh, no, it's not? Okay. All right. Will we get a Santa rally today? Will we get a Santa rally today, guys? Vote in the poll. Let me know how you feel. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny. It was like at my house, like they upgraded the internet just for me where we were staying this weekend or this last week. But where they upgraded it, it's like, dude, I don't know if just Baton Rouge has crappy internet, which is what I'm guessing it is. All right, like Baton Rouge has crappy, like I've never seen such a disparity between upload and download speed in my life, bro. Like I go to this house, and the upload or the download speed is great. It's like 500 megabits. It's half a gig. That's plenty. I don't need better than that to stream. Right. And to be honest, I didn't really run into trouble streaming anyway. So like the internet sustained itself better than it did last time anyway, regardless of anything. But at the house, it had like half a gig, like 500 megabits upload or download speed. And then when it came to upload speed, it literally had like 20. Right. Like I've never seen such a disparity. The only thing I can think of is that maybe that's like one of the plans. Like I know Baton Rouge uses Cox Cable. I used to live in Baton Rouge. In fact, when I wanted to get out of my Comcast deal, I knew Baton Rouge didn't have Comcast, and so I said, oh, I'm moving to Baton Rouge, even though I wasn't, so that I could get out of my Comcast deal. And Comcast will let you cancel if they see you're moving to a place that doesn't have their service. So I'm not in Baton Rouge anymore. I'm in Houston now. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. Tesla is the right chart. So this is Tesla right here. It's up to 435. Tesla has had a crazy run, you know, the last couple months. Look at this run the last few months here. And really, honestly, this run's been since freaking May, so half a year. Tesla's had this run on the right. Whether it can continue is a different story. John, get Starlink. Well, no. So, yeah, so Yowzer, upload speed's the problem. Like when you stream, listen, so when you stream on YouTube or anywhere, really, download speed doesn't matter. It's upload speed. Download speed matters to the extent in which you're using the internet while you're streaming, right? Like if I'm pulling up charts and I'm looking up stuff, then I need some like download speed. But when you upload something to the internet, like a live stream, it takes up upload speed over download speed. Like it doesn't influence download speed, and it doesn't need download speed. It needs good upload speed. And so basically, the one that I didn't need was at 500. The one that I did need was at 20. And to be honest, 20 is probably fine, right? Like anything over 7 can probably sustain a live stream. You might have some little hiccups, but like for the most part, anything over 7 should be fine. Now, when you run into real problem is when you're like uploading long, super high quality videos and stuff like that. Those take a long time. Yeah, I have fiber. Like at my house, I have fiber optic. I should have 2.5 gigs here now at my house. And the last time I checked, most computers can't handle 2.5 gigs, regardless of what they say. And most, like, nobody's really getting 2.5 gigs. But the last time I did a speed test on this computer, which is now directly wired, it's running at like 1300 megabits, like 1.3 gigs, which is great. That's plenty. You don't ever need anything higher than that, really. Hey, Merry Christmas, guys. Happy holidays. Durable goods actually released yesterday, Pawn. So yeah, durable goods came out yesterday, brother. Not today. Which shocked me, right? When I originally checked it yesterday, you know how we had like 700 people there during 8:30 release yesterday? That's because everybody was watching durable goods come out and we didn't cover it. I kind of feel bad. But durable goods came out yesterday at 8:30 and I was oblivious to it completely. But it makes sense now that I look back because we had like 600-700 people here at 8:30 yesterday. And usually those are like small economic releases, which is exactly what it was. It was a small economic release. All right, guys. I have you on low res Johnny. That's okay. It's my rap name. All right, guys. What up? What was I about to do? Okay. Look at my dad, bro. Look at my dad, dude. My dad just brutal, you know. My dad uploads this family picture of us. Right? Uploads this family picture of us. Look at Carol. Got him, you know. Shout out to my dad, man. Great picture select. He took like 5 of them too. But look. Carol, eyes are closed. She's not gonna be mad. She's gonna kind of laugh at it and be like, oh, great. You know. But shout out to my dad. You know. My dad's a good guy. He's a good dude, you know. He's a lot like me, to be honest. I'm a lot like him, I should probably say. I just tested, I'm getting 68 megabits. I would test mine right now, but if I test it, it's going to mess up the stream. Because when you do a speed test, it uses up all your bandwidth. So I'm just not even going to worry about it. I know I'm running good now. I can see, like with OBS, you get a little bit more power over what you're running. I'm running 60 FPS, about 4,500 kilobits per second. Kilobits per second. So that's plenty, right? For a stream, right? You know, you could use anywhere between 4 to 5, but 4,500 is perfect. You know, it shouldn't drop frames, shouldn't lag. We're running 60 FPS. So the stream here at my house is definitely cleaner. Definitely top 3. John got the big dad energy. Yeah, I guess. Trading software. Yeah, trading software honestly eats a lot of it. You don't realize it too. That's why memory's good. I'll probably have to upgrade the RAM of this new PC that I have just to get some good memory. Looking at our polls, 72% of people think we're going to get a Santa rally today. 28% say no. Where's Nvidia at? Somebody's talking about Nvidia. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's going to... Honestly, GameStop's chart's really not that bad. Nvidia over 140s here. That's dragging the market up. Hey, good for it. Yeah, right. So pawn. So just so like when you're streaming... if you ever stream, right, and you're using OBS, right, like ideally you probably want to use 4250, right? Like the higher you do it, listen, so like if you have the internet to sustain like 5, 6, 7,000 kbps, you could do it. But what it's going to do is that the people who are watching it that do not have like the best of the best internet are going to run into like chop with your stream. They're going to run into like lag with your stream, right? So like when I did a test for mine, right? And again, I've got 1.3 gigs. That's so much. That's so fast internet, right? Like that's way above average in the US at least. It told me I could probably do 6 or 7. You know, I think it told me I could do 10 actually. But I didn't, because that's going to make it unwatchable for people with a little bit lower internet quality. And so you got to pick a good balance, like 4250. Like again, me at 4500, I'm at 60 FPS, never lag, right? I'm fine. And so it's just finding a good balance there. You can also, like if you ever go to Twitch, you can test your connection too, right? So you can test your connection there. I think you might be able to do it on YouTube as well. This is Christmas music. We can find some here. I got you. Here we go, guys. This is the top 3 best Christmas music ever. Yeah, I got 1.3 upload and download. So honestly, that's why I got this. I have a fiber optic internet connection. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's like $100 a month too, no contract. It's great, honestly. Before I had this, I had Comcast, the freaking worst service you could ever get, bro. Worst service you could ever have. Just not good. And I play poker a lot. Like I live stream. Like I'm somebody that needs super good internet. It's only in my office though, because like I have a mesh system and my house is kind of big. I'm not bragging. Please don't get mad at me for saying this. My house is big. You know, it's over 4,000 square feet. And so when we're putting the mesh system around, some parts of the house get like 15. But that's still good, right? Like that's still doable. It's still good enough to like watch it's still good enough to like watch stuff, but because of the mesh system, the whole house doesn't get good internet. You know, here it's a wired connection through to a fiber optic line, so I've got the best internet in the house right here. But yeah, I have a local company that sprouted up and started competing with Comcast, and I'm so glad they did, dude. Honestly, I helped pay their startup. Like when they were first starting up before taking customers, they took deposits as like a funding round, and I deposited. Like I was so mad at Comcast at the time. Comcast freaking scammed me, bro. Like they didn't scam me. People on my live stream told me not to do it. I should have listened. This was actually a moment in time. This was during the AMC GameStop craziness, right? Like during the AMC GameStop craziness, my channel started growing, right? Like that's really where my channel took off. AMC GameStop. We covered AMC and GameStop's big crazy moments in time, and we were one of the top 5. Like not even using my catchphrase, we were genuinely one of the top 5 live streamers at that point in time, live streaming that stuff. Like you had Roaring Kitty and you had like me and a couple other people live streaming AMC GameStop, and we were getting like 3,000-4,000 people on good days. When something big was going on, you know, kind of similar to today. Like if we have something big going on, like if we got FOMC, we had almost 5,000 people here last week for FOMC. You know, if CPI is coming out, we'll have over 3,000 people. It was similar to that time, but it was AMC GameStop. But what would happen is that I would start live streaming right when my channel was taking off, and I wasn't used to getting those type of views at the time, right? I was used to having less than like, you know, a couple hundred people. And so when I started to get good views, I got really excited, but then my internet just wouldn't hold my live streams, right? And I was supposed to get like 100 up, 100 down. But every day I'd wake up and live stream, my stream would complain, the internet would chop out, and you know, when I would test the internet kept having problems. And so eventually, and I had Comcast, I switched to Comcast Business, hoping that business class internet would be better than what they were currently giving me, because it was starting to like, you know, negatively affect everything, right? So I switched to business class, and then they spent, in business class was like $400 a month at the time. I switched to it hoping I'd get better internet. Again, the people in chat told me not to do it. They're like, nah. They're like, you're going to get the same internet. You know, they're just going to charge you double. And that's precisely what happened. But I could write it off, so it was kind of okay, I guess. But anyways, they came and put all these big, servers and boxes in my house. And the internet was worse than it was before. Still messed up. Still couldn't sustain a stream. And so eventually I started searching for other options. And I found this company, this small local company that was creating a fiber optic line throughout my city. And, we helped fund them a little bit with our startup fee that we gave them. And now they're freaking everywhere. And honestly, $100 a month, no contract, 2.5 gigs. That's honestly one of the best deals you'll ever find in internet in the U.S. I'm pretty sure. Working with 61.1 download, 68 upload. That's pretty good. You don't need more than that. You really don't, right? Like me getting 1.5 gigs, 2.5 gigs is kind of overkill, to be honest. I usually trade just the NASDAQ. I like NASDAQ. I look at the E-mini. It depends, right? Like the E-mini, the way I'll trade the E-mini, and so I'll trade the E-mini if and only if the volatility justifies it, right? Like the volatility, if the volatility is too high and I'm not comfortable taking a big risk, if the volatility justifies it and I'm not okay with taking like a big crazy risk, then sometimes I will scale down and trade like the S&P E-mini or something like that and attack that instead of the NASDAQ. Because the NASDAQ, you buy one mini contract, that thing could go up or down hundreds if not $1,000 if you give it enough time. Like that's a lot of profit or loss for one contract. You could always go to micros, but there's pros and cons there. So sometimes I'll trade just a regular E-mini to kind of have a middle ground of that, right? But outside of that, I usually just trade the NASDAQ. They're very similar in movement. A lot of the time, the only issue is the E-mini is a little bit choppier than the NASDAQ. So if we look at like the SPY and you look at the Q, the SPY is a little bit choppier than the Q, usually. Especially if you look at like futures contracts. Here's the E-mini, here's the NASDAQ, right? You'll notice like a little bit cleaner candles here. They both look almost identical, right? But the one in the middle is the NASDAQ. It's got a little bit more liquidity, cleaner candles, versus this one looks a little bit less liquidity, a little bit choppier. And you can see the average volume is much higher. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, you can see the average volume is a little bit better on the NASDAQ. But actually, no, it's honestly, they're pretty similar volume-wise. Yeah, they're almost identical here. The NASDAQ just has the range advantage. Tesla up there, though. See if Tesla can break 440s. And Nvidia, the one we're talking about today. Nvidia's had some crazy bounces. No, Comcast doesn't have fiber in the area. I beg them to, right? Like what happened, Comcast. This is what happened. Comcast's a big greedy company, right? Like they don't want to waste money. And so Comcast stopped setting up fiber optic. So basically where I live, they came to my city and they set up a quarter of the city has fiber optic Comcast, right? The other 3/4 of the city does not, and when I talked to Comcast at, 3-4 years ago when all this was going on, I asked them, I said, hey, are y'all installing fiber optic? And the guy said, no, Comcast is no longer installing any fiber optic throughout the country. They're no longer doing it. They're no longer installing fiber optic. Google Fiber is no longer doing it either. And so basically what they're saying is that coax cables are getting more efficient to where fiber optic, you don't need fiber optic as much now. Fiber optic's still better, but it's not worth the infrastructure building that you need to do to set it up, if that makes sense, right? Like fiber optic's better, but it's the margins aren't worth spending all that time and energy setting it up. And so that's where this other company found a a hole in the game and came over here and did it. Yeah, mine's similar to that. I have 2.5 at 100, but yeah. I'm just glad I'm back home, man. Yeah, get Starlink. I don't need Starlink. I really don't. Right, Starlink, I've heard upload speed isn't good anyway. Download speed's fine, but upload's not good anyway. And I would get Starlink. Honestly, I travel occasionally to different places. Some of the places I travel might justify Starlink, right? And so I know there's one that I'm traveling to, and not that long, where I might need Starlink. You know, and the good thing is, like, I can go to anywhere and buy Starlink and they're gonna have it. Yeah, you as well, Mo. Thank you, brother. Happy holidays, brother. Thanks for the free content, pal. Hey, no worries, Mo. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Your hat looks weird with the green screen. Yeah, I know. Here, I'll try to fix it maybe. It's a camo hat. It's doing its job. I know. There you go. It's a Dodgers hat, actually. I'm usually an Astros fan, but, you know, Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers did that. I wanted to see it. Good for them, man. Honestly, my portfolio is pretty green. Today, at least. What is today? So, Alibaba. Remember, I bought the dip in Baba. And it looks like that was good. I'm buying Baba, and I'm probably going to hold a little bit more just because I think live social shopping is the future. And I think Baba's going to start messing with that more and more, and that might help them grow. Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, I told you guys, I think Bitcoin's going to consolidate in the 90s for an extended period of time. I've been saying this. I think it makes sense. It's logical. It's all about stories, right? Like, and I think that's a logical thing. I think it taps 100, breaks it, makes the big moment, and then it chills right underneath that, gains some, picks up some steam, you know, finds some energy before it makes its second push. I don't know. I don't really look like this guy, I would say. Like, I kind of look like him in some ways. Like, maybe the top half of my face looks a little bit like him, but the bottom half is different. Yeah, so the bottom half is different. What are y'all gonna do for the new year, chat? What's your plans for the new year? I know I got some plans. I want to go play poker, dude. Like, I would love poker. It's always been a dream of mine to, like, play at high stakes. I have the money to do it to where even if I go there and just lose, I'd still be fine and it wouldn't really affect my day-to-day life like that. And I want to go take a shot. Like, honestly, I'm going to go do that this year. Next year, 2025, I'm doing that. I'm doing the World Series of Poker. I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I made a deal with Carol that I wouldn't do the main event if I could go for a couple weeks in advance of that and play some of the smaller tournaments to try to win at least a bracelet, you know. The only problem with the main event, I'll do the main event, but there's so many people. It's such a low odds tourney. But hey, what's up, David? Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. Brad. No, I'm good. I'm not a big fan of tokenizing real world assets like that. I just don't think we need to. I'm also not going to tell anybody where I live. I got too many kind of like weird people that watch the stream. No offense to you guys. Most of you guys are chill, but they got some weird, obsessive, strange people. You know, and again, like I've known, like the reason I try to be very discreet and like super personal things, because again, like my wife's had stalkers and like strange old men that have like obsessed over her and gotten kind of weird, and I feel for those guys because they just like, I wondered the type of personality that does that, like, you know, very clearly gets obsessed over like one specific person. It's just very odd to me, you know. Like I'm the type that where like I believe I'm always optimistic. I'm an optimistic person, right? Like I don't think I've ever hyper focused on one specific person. Like if the person didn't like me, I just move on, right? But with that said, you know, it's always hard to tell who like people are outside of their usernames. So I just got to be careful. I appreciate you guys though. Yeah. I'm not mad if you drove across the country. Listen, take your shot, okay? Take your shot. But if she's married, if you're old and she's young and she's just being nice to you because you're old, no offense, be objective is just what it is, right? Like I'm okay with taking your shot. Whoever it is, like do your thing, take your shot. But like also recognize where it's not appropriate and just like move the heck on. Like don't obsess and get weird. Like that's strange. You know. It's easy to tell with me I'm in a van. Hey. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. You guys are mostly good people, you know. And most people are genuinely supportive here and they just like the content. They know I'm one of the top 3 analysts ever and they're just like, hey, that's the top 3 analyst ever. We're going to watch him, you know, and I appreciate it. Definitely top 3-ish. We're great on the day, guys. Should I add more to some of these positions? I don't know, man. Right, 100%. Taking a shot's fine. Like, insisting, like, you know. Yeah. No, Carol's here right now, so she's not going to call. She's home. Carol usually calls me after she's done dropping the kids off to tell me what her plans are for the day. So she's just calling me, like, tell me what her plans are. Most of the time she's just coming home and she's going to do this, or her and I are going to go out after the stream and do something. And so she's just trying to plan to see if she should get ready or not. That's why it's always very short. When she calls, it's not long, right? It's very short. She's just like, hey, I'm going to come home. We're going to go do this, right? Yep. All right. I'll see you in a second. So it's usually short. A lot of the time when women are polite, weird men take it as an opening. Yeah, no. So I've told this story before. We had this neighbor. His name was Scott, right? Super strange dude. And at first he was nice, and he was just the old man across the street, so we were chill, right? But like he didn't. I don't think he realized he was old, right? There were some weird signs. And my wife texted all of our neighbors to have them like watch her house if we were gone, like if we forgot to take the trash out, like if, you know, like we hung out with them some. We knew all our neighbors. We were on a cul-de-sac, and so everything was chill. We knew all our neighbors, like they were all friendly with us, and we would all talk to them. We'd all contact them sometimes. Well, like he started texting her, and at a certain point she came to me and she's like, hey, like look at this text message, you know. And it's like, dude, this guy looked like he was like a little bit short. He was shorter than me. He looked like Santa Claus. Like he's old, right? But yeah, she comes to me, she's like, hey, look at this. And so I read it, but it's plausibly deniable, right? Like I read it, it's a little off 100%. but it's plausibly deniable. So he's going to act like, you know, and so her and I make up our mind to just kind of like reduce the interactions with this guy because we see him getting a little bit off, right? Honestly, what it seemed like is that he just doesn't have any type of human interaction with people on a regular basis. And so, you know, when a pretty girl starts talking to him, he just kind of gets too excited and you know. And so eventually we start kind of reducing contact with him because there were some signs. And then he almost gets worse, right? He almost picks it up even more and starts like obsessing over us more and like coming to our house and stuff. To where we eventually just stopped talking to him altogether. And, you know, I had to have some words with him a couple times over like we would leave the house and he would show up and like act like he was letting his dogs out, you know, but like there were just some bad signs. And so eventually, luckily, we just moved away. And we were going to move anyway. It was time to upgrade houses. I miss my old house, though. I'm just telling stories, John, over here. Like, listen, it's Christmas Eve, brother. If you get too mad, I'm going to assume you're the guy. All right? I'm over here telling stories. Somebody asked me about it. Somebody said, hey, you know, this. And so I'm just over here telling stories. You're going to hear the same stories a couple different times at least watching my live streams, and that's okay. Cry about it if you don't like it, or you can always go watch somebody else. It's all love here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. But, yeah, we're probably going to tell it again later down the line, you know. You'll be all right. What's your take on Bitcoin during the Santa rally? I don't know, man. I think it ran during Thanksgiving. I hope it runs again during Christmas. And I think it could, right? Like maybe we're going to pivot and get a Santa rally for Bitcoin over stocks. But I'm not as confident as I was during Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. Tell us more, actually. Yeah. Honestly, I got to make it entertaining, and that's an entertaining story. It's a weird story, kind of an off-putting story. But it's real, and it's honestly true. And honestly, part of the reason I say this story is so if any weirdness does ever happen, which it's not going to, right? But if it, you know, now there's social proof of it. So that's good. Hey, what's up, Bride? Good morning, man. Hope you're doing good. We want more stories, please. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm telling stories. I can tell more stories, too, that don't have anything to do with him. I think I've told the story of Ray Ray and the toy. I'm pretty sure I've told that story before, too. Look, it's Christmas Eve. What else am I supposed to do here besides tell stories, you know? I enjoy your streams. Hey, thank you, man. JG says, don't knock older guys. That's him right there, guys. That's him. No, I'm just joking. Oh, man. All right. No, listen, I like old people. You know, older people are nice. I'm nice to old people, dude. That's what got us in this problem to begin with, right? I'm nice to the old guys. I'm going to be old, too. I'm getting old. I feel old, bro. My hip hurts, dude. You know, my back hurts. I feel old right now. Was Tesla discussed already? Yeah, Tesla's discussed. It's up to 436s. Honestly, NASDAQ's testing highs too. Recent highs at least. High of the time frame. We're up to 818s. 818s. Yeah, so I can tell the story of Ray Ray and the dinosaur. That's always a good childhood. These are stories I tell my kids, except for Scott. I don't really tell him that story. But y'all are old enough to handle that. Oh, yeah. for sure. That guy. All right. Need Nvidia to hold 140s. Yeah, I'm looking up some other news. I haven't even pulled. Sorry, Pawn. I haven't even pulled Discord up yet. All right, guys. So we still got about 40 minutes left until the market opens. What do you guys want to do here? We're here. I mean, I could trade. I just don't see any price action that I'd like to trade here. We did get funded in another account yesterday. I just got to make sure. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, we could try to get funded in this other one now. Okay, so we are up. All right, let's do this. Yeah, we'll try to get funded in this other account now. We'll just play with this. That'll give us something to do. If y'all are going to get mad at my stories because I'm over-telling stories, let's find something else to do. Maybe I have told them too much. If so, my bad. Or maybe they're secretly him, you know. No. We're breaking highs of the day here, trying to push up. We're at 822s. NASDAQ's up there. Tesla's up there. Nvidia is really what's been running today, too. Look at Nvidia here, chat. Nvidia up to 140s. Over 140. Big milestone level. I'm definitely watching 140. Bitcoin also shooting up to 835s. 95,000, 835s for futures. Bitcoin futures. Oh, I'm definitely going to say rip at least once today, guys. At least once. I can still tell the story of Ray Ray and the brick / dinosaurs, but I'll hold back on stories. There's a lot of stories I tell my kids. Like I used to tell them before I went to bed about my life, about like funny stuff that happened to me. So. Sam out here telling jokes. No, so here's a funny story, R. Rojas. So R. Rojas said if, what does that mean, R? Is it Rojas red? Or is it a different color? Oh, it's just the middle, it's just the last name. Okay. Yeah, it means red. Okay, I was right. Anyways, ADHD kicking in. I would teach them, I would dress as the Grinch, steal their gifts. It would teach them to guard their property. My daughter actually has a phobia, like a legitimately scared of the Grinch, right? Like an actual phobia, like not a jokingly ha ha ha. She is legit scared of the Grinch, right? It started when she was really little, and you know, she would, I think one time, like her great aunt played the Grinch music and did the smile where the Grinch like smiles up big from the cartoon. She's scared of the cartoon Grinch. But since she was little, she's had this phobia of the Grinch where she's been afraid to. All right, we are running up a little bit here. I'm going to switch to the regular NASDAQ, guys, and then we're going to try to get funded on this one. There we go. We got a little dip. Up 60, 40, 20. Now we're down. All right, we got 4 contracts. We'll add 5. Going a little big size wise here, but that's okay. We got a cushion already. Shorten the top on Christmas Eve here, chat. I've never dressed up as the Grinch, but honestly, she's so scared of it that she might actually get mad at me if I did. Here we go. Oh, we actually got a bad fill there, dude. I'm still kind of mad about this, dude. We actually got a bad fill there. We made $5 from that trade. We're up like 140, but it retraced as soon as we sold, unfortunately. Like literally as soon as we hit cover, it retraced. Now, if we push up some more, we will short, but we got to prepare to cut this because this ain't looking good. I'm going to get out here, actually. Just too much. We only lost like 1 to 200. Which with regular E-minis and 5 contracts, that's actually pretty small. I just want to see if this is a liquidity grab. We're actually breaking highs. Bitcoin up to 96K for Bitcoin futures. Nvidia is starting to pull back a little bit now too. I'm going to delete the joke pawn just to be safe. I'm going to delete the joke because you don't know community guidelines and such. I don't think it would have broken it, but just to be safe, I'm going to delete it. I didn't hate the joke, though, just to clarify. I'm not trying to be a Grinch here, guys. All right, so we're going to jump in short again here. All right, we got 5 contracts max. See if we can get a good little fill. What's y'all's favorite Christmas movie? Mine is like Jingle All the Way. It's either Jingle All the Way. I like Scrooged a lot too. Scrooge is pretty good. All right, so we're flat on this position here. Now we're kind of green. Come on, retrace some more. I'm gonna take half of this off. I just don't like it. I'm gonna take half of it off. Like this is something you'll see me do, which is like I manage risk and I just unload some of it. And even if I'm right, I'm perfectly content unloading some of it just so that the risk is off. I think I scaled it a little bit too large. The longer, and there's also like this nuance of like the longer it sits here, the less likely it is for it to work in my favor. Like the more it can hold some levels, the higher probability that's going to pop up. And so as it sits there longer and longer, the more I'm okay with cutting some of it. You look like the kid in Jingle All the Way. You mean the karate master? You know? Yeah, that's me. All right, bro. Come on. I know it's Christmas Eve, but let's get some movement here. I know I'm kind of shorting like on Christmas Eve. Last Christmas Eve, the market dumped, I think. All right. This is taking too long. All right. We cut a piece. Cut some more. Cut some more. Unless I'm literally playing video games already. I feel like I hear my son playing video games. It's a little bit too early, but I'm in a position. He's not supposed to be playing video games this early. It's 8 a.m. He knows that. See, I'm nervous about cutting this. I don't want to cut it and have it dump down. And we'll get out. All right, so we kind of got off like flat that last trade. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. My son's not supposed to be playing video games this early. Bitcoin just broke highs of the day, though. Bitcoin did just break highs. I'll be back. Hey, Jack. Jack. looks like me getting out of that position was the right move. Like I said, the longer it sits there, and I hope you guys can maybe learn a little bit from that exit, the longer it sits there without breaking down, the less confident I am on the downside and the more probable it is to go up, right? So look at that pop though, man. We're popping up. Bitcoin broke highs too. We're moving some here. Yeah, apparently my wife gave him the green light to do it, only specifically because his friends also playing. Like, if like our rule is like, usually we don't let him play. He doesn't play at all during the school week. He can sometimes occasionally play early in the morning, but usually we wait until at least 11 before we let him play. But if his friends are playing all together, we'll let him join his friend group if they're all playing together. And so if his friend's up early playing, then we'll let him play. But once his friend stops, we're going to have to turn it off. I agree with you, but didn't move like you. Took a hit. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, they closed at 1 p.m. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'll let him play. It's all good. Yeah, we let our kids open one gift usually. Again, my son's got a gift this year. All right, chat. All right, chat. I'm hanging out. Look at that pull turnaround here. That's a big dip. We gave that whole candle back up here. Interesting. All right, we're gonna short now. See if we can piggyback off of this big move, but who knows, man. Oof. All right, we got 5 contracts. I'll give it one more second. Yeah, come on. All right, we're gonna unload a piece of this now too. Even if it continues in my direction, unloading some of the shares just in case it makes a following move up makes sense, I think, but it retraces that quickly. And so I'm trying to get into these and protect the account, simultaneously trying to get some good gains. We'll add back to it if it starts to go in my favor here. That's the plan. Yeah, so, all right, cool. We got out when we should have, I think. If it breaks this high, we'll cut it again. Let's see what it does. See, I still think it might bounce, or it might fall down some again more, just because I think this thing's giving it back, but it depends on what the range is, if it's sideways or not. Oh, I'm definitely gambling a little bit, but this is a challenge account too, so I can take more risk in this thing, and it's all good. Yeah, so we're gonna have to cut it. So we honestly, like, I know we lost a few hundred there, but we managed it well, I think. Despite those losses. And again, this is a challenge account, right? So like, it's too early for me to trade my actual funded account. So while we're down and we're not really happy about it, It's a challenge account. Like we're gonna be fine regardless. All right, we're gonna short here. It's kind of a crazy short, but we're down enough in this account where we gotta just kind of risk it here. Hope we get a following move. All right, we didn't get any good fill on that. We tried to take profit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we are up about 250. I'm gonna take another add to this so we can add to it and still be in the green, but see if we can milk some back here. We'll add some more down here. Oh man, I don't like that retracement. All right, so here's our risk for the trade. I don't mind losing this account. It's a $50 account, and so it's not going to be the end of the world if I lose. Like we got funded in one yesterday, and so we're not going to be perfect. And even if we fail here, we're going to have to just let this run. We got another one we can try too. All right, Bitcoin's still pushing up though. Bitcoin up to 345s. How does it give me this bad of a feel there? All right. Okay. I'm expecting like a dip before we test the high, but who knows? There we go. All right, we got one left. See, it looks like it's running out of steam, and I want some size in case it can't. So we will try. Every time we're about to add to it. I'll just sit in one actually. We're not down enough to where it's like the end of the world. But we'll switch to our actual funded account closer to the open. Should have shorted it with bigger size, but it's all good. Also, guys, remember, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. You always got to make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. We are not investment professionals. We do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Not an investment professional. We do trade off stream. Sometimes we lose off stream. We don't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional, not liable for losses. Always understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Trade at your own risk. All right, so we've got in full size here. I want to see if this turns a little bit before trying to test that high. You can see I'm a little indecisive. I'm like, hey, I'm going to wait and take size. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go full size here. But again, it's a challenge account, so we got funded on one yesterday. We're just playing around with this one in pre-market. We got nothing else to do. I like it. The only thing I'm a little worried about is like a Santa rally. You know, like if markets really want to today, they can. But I know last Christmas Eve the markets dumped. So No, you can buy up to 5, I think, Jen. There might be a restriction. I'm not sure if there's a restriction on how many you can buy, but you can buy a good bit of them. Unless we turn all the way back down on this candle. I'm getting very weary about this trade. Yeah, I don't like that at all. So now we're gonna wait. New attitude. GameStop. Tilray. Where's Tilray at, man? Cannabis company. I haven't seen that in a minute. It's up someday. But again, the problem with cannabis stocks is simple. I've said this 1,000 times. But, you know, they say whatever they want to say. Look, we got out in time. We only lost a couple hundred there, too. So the problem with Tilray and other cannabis stocks is that politicians say they're going to legalize it. And again, like, I'm okay with legalization, right? I think the reason cannabis, what causes more harm in cannabis is the fact that it's illegal and you have to go to illegal dealers to get it, who are eventually going to offer people other stuff, and then it's a gateway drug, right? And so I think the reason it's a problem is because it's illegal. And I think big pharmaceutical industries and lobbyist group lobby against it so that people will go take their stuff instead, right? And I think that's very clear. If you look at things objectively, that's very clear. A lot of people have bias, like you know, there's a stigma behind it. But I think if you look at it objectively, that's what's going on. And so the real issue is that there's too much money pushing against it for me to feel confident enough investing into that sector, right? I think it's eventually going to be legal nationwide. And if that's the case, maybe we get a run up from it in stocks and in cannabis stocks. But I think the risk is too high there too. And so I'm just not going to put money in it like that. I just don't trust it. I've heard too many politicians come out, say, hey, I'm going to legalize it on my term. Just watch. And then they don't, right? And sometimes they'll blame it on whomever. They'll say, oh, well, you know, like when they have the opportunity to do it, they don't. And so I'm just kind of, I'm not going to touch those stocks. Yeah, we got 15 minutes into the opening bell. We'll trade the opening bell on Christmas Eve. And again, if you want to check out Topstep, help support your boy on Christmas Eve, check it out. No PDT rule in the futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. Almost all day traders lose. And so instead of funding your own account and probably losing whatever you put in it, try this, right? They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K without losing 2K, it comes with real-time data, which is going to cost about the same. If you were going to buy a demo with real-time data in futures, it costs about the same. So the value's there. If you take that 50K demo and you make 3K in profit without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit as well. And they've paid out over 150 million since 2020. They fund thousands of traders that have been around for over 12 years. It's one of the greatest ways to learn how to day trade with some risk, but not thousands of dollars in risk, considering most day traders lose. It just makes sense, right? But they pay me money, so I'm biased, of course. If you want to check them out, here's the link. They are an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Again, I'm one of the top 3 worst day traders of all time ever in the world. Definitely top 3 worst ever. Do not copy me. If you copy me, you could lose. So you'll probably lose, I would say. And so I'm not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41. Top 3 plugs in the world right now. If you want to check it out, there's the link. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. And I'm still looking for a dip here. Right? If we get a little pop up, I'll short this again. Terrible fill here. Horrible, but it's okay. If we pop up some, we'll add some to this too. I like this. I'm going to keep it just 3 contracts, but I like it. On the downside. Who knows? Don't copy me. Alright, so we took a piece off, locked it in. We'll add some more if it continues to break. We'll get ready to go full size. All right, we'll take another piece off there. Nice, another piece off there. And then we'll get out the rest there. Okay, so cool, we got a little trade in there. Let's see what we can do rest. If we get a little bounce up, we'll short this too. No, that's not true either. Are you ready? So, you know, I'm not talking about Texas specifically. I'm talking about federal national legalization, or at least decriminalization, right? Like, they pander to people to make them think they're doing something. Like, this descheduling thing is insignificant, right? Like, if they really wanted to help people, they'd completely legalize it, tax it. The tax money that we'd get from it is big. I'm a big business person. I believe in business. And I think, again, I've said this 1,000 times, but it's objectively less harmful than alcohol. And so you got people that are literally drinking stuff that causes massive physical dependence. Some of the most dangerous physical dependence of any drug is alcohol. Yet it's sold at gas stations, and the same people doing that are criticizing cannabis like it's some type of devil thing. And it's just silly and it's ridiculous. And again, I don't do any of it. I'm not a big drinker. Cannabis, definitely not something I do. But I can recognize, knowing enough people that have like had their lives screwed up, it's objectively dangerous because it's illegal. People are going to consume it no matter what, right? But if you legalized it, regulated it, taxed it, it would cause a lot less problems, but the pharmaceutical industries would make less. And that's where the disparity is, unfortunately. Anyways, we're pulling back a little bit. I want to see if we get a little pop up here. And so going back to stocks, I'm not confident enough to invest in stocks, right? To invest in stocks, you basically have to predict federal legalization, and I don't know when that's happening. If we're talking about specifically Texas here, Texas doesn't have ballot initiatives. So, like, the people can't vote on what they want to happen. We got to deal with some politician that ultimately has the final say. But freedom, Texas, I don't know. All right, so we're moving up some. I don't mind shorting this too, but I think this is a little bit riskier short now that we've pulled back and we have a dip and we're kind of at previous supports. It's a riskier short, but it might still break down. I think if I had to pick a direction, I'd say down right here. I think up's a little bit too obvious, but you never really know. I would look at like this spot here for a pullback, but who knows? All right, guys, we're gonna day trade. Give me 11 minutes. Bitcoin 100K today? Maybe. It's possible. I would say Bitcoin next few days, maybe. It could happen today, though. It just depends. Jobless claims Thursday could be the catalyst. 10-year treasury is awfully high. We talking yields or we talking bonds? Yeah, you're probably talking yields, which means the bond prices are down in general. Yeah, yields high, which ultimately means a hawkish Fed, right? Like when yields follow interest rates. So if the Fed is dovish with interest rates, trying to bring interest rates down, yields go down too. If the Fed is hawkish and wants to keep interest rates high, yields tend to increase, right? I think that's the nuance of it. I'm pretty sure that's right. I always get these mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, it wouldn't matter it would matter in a sense if it sets the standard, Tiny. Good morning, by the way. I hope you're doing good today. But it would matter that it controls the standard, and it's all about the standard. Like, yeah, it's all about the standard. The issue is like you got law, and I support law enforcement, but you got law enforcement lobbying against it so that they can keep making money from it because they make money from it, from locking people up for it, essentially. And so they don't want it legal for the same reasons because they don't want to lose that income, right? But we can't keep throwing people in jail so that they can earn a little bit more. I mean, that's not morally correct, right? But, it's nuanced, and I get the downsides of it too. I just think, I think there's a misconception. See, look at that support level, guys. This is what I realized on Topstep TV is I got to start drawing more levels. Look at that. To a T. Look at that level hold, man. I drew that level. Look at that. Builds my confidence, guys. I told you guys I thought it would probably fall down to right here. Right? Look at that level. I drew that level. We bounced literally exactly off of that level. I should have taken advantage of it, honestly. Honestly, to be honest, I was looking for a short down to this. But, like, look at that level, guys. Huh. That's why people could say I'm a bad trader. They can say whatever they want. But look at that. Builds my confidence for sure. Top 3 level callers in the world right now. It feels really good to draw a level like this. People say technical analysis doesn't work, right? They say TA doesn't work and all this different stuff. It feels so good to draw a level. And honestly, I did more than that. I predicted literally exactly where it went. I said, I think it's going to come down to this right here. And then literally touch that level straight back up. I was looking for a short in this area here. I just didn't quite, jump on it. But I'm definitely top 3 worst ever in the world for sure. The only thing that happens, like, it builds my confidence for sure. But a little bit of FOMO happens too. I just use supported resistance, right? Like, if you want me to be honest here, okay, about how I identify these levels. All right. I look for isolated levels with backing supported resistance confirmations. Now, that's a big fancy way to say I look for isolated levels like this, right? Or like this, right? When it's the most obvious, the better. Because really what we're looking at, and the reason these levels work in general, is because other traders see them. And when other traders see a level and it's really obvious and isolated, they base their trades around it, right? That's why this worked right here, is because other traders see this level here, they see this resistance hold here, and they base their trades around it. That's all this is. It's just them basing their trades around it. So we got a head and shoulders pattern here too. I might short this here too, guys. Let me see. Yep. There we go. I'm going to take half off there. Lovely. Lovely. We're going to cut the rest out there. Beautiful trade. Worked really quickly for me. Nice. Okay. And so, yeah, it just has to do with how obvious the level is. This is what we talked about on Topstep TV the other day. Is that, like, it has to do with, like, you got to look at the clearness and like, how obvious the level is. So, an example, let me draw some stuff on charts. So if you got a level like this, right, you got this support level here, you got this resistance level here. I like this top one better because it's isolated. We have this level here clear, this level here very clear, right? And look at that head and shoulders pattern play out live. I love head. If you watch the video I put out like a week ago, I talked about one of my favorite recent patterns, and it was a head and shoulders pattern. And what do I mean by that, right? I mean head, shoulders, right? Bearish pattern, came right back down to that spot. That's what we're looking at. Yeah, at least I jumped in short and was able to make a couple $100 there. We'll see what we do now if we break underneath it. I have to wait. All right, there's the breakdown. Yeah, Bitcoin's up. Bitcoin's up to 97, almost 96 and a half. What's the statistics of a Santa rally happening? 80% is what they usually, I mean, I'm not sure about now. I think now it's a little bit less, but in general, Santa rallies in general, and again, it's approximate. I'm not 100% sure, but 80% of the time, according to AI, they happen. 80% of the time we get a run. But again, a lot of people, it depends on what you define as one, right? A lot of people are going to say we already hit it. We already did the Santa rally, and now we're just kind of chilling, right? Like, a lot of people are going to say we already rallied for Santa. But hey, John, have you ever heard this strategy, NASDAQ 100, when the simple moving average 21 crosses the SMA 200? we sell, and when it crosses back up, we buy. I've heard of that. I'm not a big fan of crossover strategies. I'm just not. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a big fan of crossover strategies. Crossovers, like, the reason I don't like them is they're lagging, right? So they're lagging strategies, and so like they're delayed. Versus, I like looking at the 200 exponential, but I keep my strategies much more simple than that. And so I like looking at levels, and I like using the 200 moving average to see kind of an idea of extension up or down on the day. And so if we push up really high above the 200 exponential, which is way down here, I can say, okay, we're probably a little extended up there. And so if we get this pretty little head and shoulders pattern, I could say, okay, we're extended on the upside. We're pretty deep away from the 200 exponential. We might break down and come retest it, get back down to earth a little bit, which is exactly what's happening. But moving average crossovers, I've just never been a big fan of them. I've tried some, and we had some back in the day, but they lag too much. They're a little bit too delayed for me. But there might be some that work. Everybody's different, and so certain traders are going to be able to make money and do things that I'm not with certain strategies, and so it's all good. I'm not hating on crossovers. Is it the rally supposed to be after holidays into the new year? Sometimes it's the week before. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes left. All right, guys, we got the New York Open. All right, chat. So we got the opening bell starting very soon here. Okay. All right, guys. We got 25 seconds left. All right, guys. So let's do this. All right, so we popped all the way back up. Here's the opening bell in 5 seconds. We got a little show up here. Yeah, it could be tax loss harvesting for sure. All right, guys, so there's the opening bell here. We're keeping an eye on Nvidia. You can see Nvidia right here. We're getting some pullbacks here. We're down to that 200 exponential level. I got Baymax. Look at my Baymax mug. I got this at Disney a long time ago. All right, we're going to wait at least 4 or 5 minutes until the opening bell passes. First move, wrong move. With economic data, sure. But at the opening bell, sometimes, not always. All right, there's a little dip. I'm going to put Tesla up. We already got the NASDAQ up, so I'm going to put Tesla up here. Tesla moving up, Nvidia moving down. I'd watch Nvidia today. Tesla's up to almost 440, so. All right, complete retracement all the way back up here, chat. Big move back up. Move it up to test some levels. Again, we're only 2 minutes into the open. Look at that retracement here. Tesla popping though. Look at that. I was gonna jump in. Oh, he got out completely flat there. We were up a little bit. I should have held it. A lot of the time, these big like up wicks and down wicks retrace is what I noticed, right? Like that's what we try to play off of, is this retracement of some of these levels. Nvidia all the way back up to over 140 is getting ready to test highs at pre-market right now. So we are 2.5 minutes into the open. Here, I'm gonna throw it in sub only mode. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, so we're trying to head back up here. We're gonna wait. Tesla at almost 442s. I see a lot of bull action, to be honest, here today, chat. I do see a lot of bull action. Bitcoin futures are about to break 97,000, or at least they're getting really close to it. Doesn't mean it's gonna hold. I have no idea, but look at Nvidia run up. All right, I'm gonna buy this dip now. We'll take some size if we need, but look at Tesla. I gotta risk this account eventually. All right, we're at 4 contracts now. There we go. There we go. Hey, look at this. Nice. Okay. So we just made about 5 at the open just now. You know what? We're going to buy this retracement too. We might lose 5 now. Let's see. Hold on. I'm running for it. Don't do it to me. We got to risk this account someday, chat. Whew. All right, I'm going to take some off here. Try to save me. But there we go. It's starting to fight its way back up. There we go. 4 contracts. Bad fills on those, but hey, we'll take our swing here. There we go. Dude, how is this giving me bad fills still, dude? A little bummed out about this fills, but it's all right. All right, we're still green on the last, since the opening bell at least. I think we might start running out of steam here though and turning back. Yeah, there we go. So we tried really hard to push. It's stuff's still pretty strong, but we might consolidate for a minute here. Yeah, look, there's the big run out of steam. Look at that retracement too. Interesting. Tesla's still ripping. Watch Nvidia is what I'm watching here. It's strong enough where we're gonna buy this dip. There we go, and we're out. So we were down. Honestly, we were down about $600 to start the open on this account. We are now up about 100. So we've made 700 since the opening bell. Now it's a challenge account. We're gonna switch to our funded account once we get a little bit of rhythm in trading. There's the second push. I'll let things play. Why are you looking at the ceiling? I'm looking at my monitor here. So my monitor's up here, guys. So I've got a stacked monitor set up. So the monitor that you guys see is above me. It's right here. Tesla up to 445s roughly here. Looks strong, but I think eventually we're going to start slowing down is what I'm worried about here. I'm going to start shorting this, to be honest. I'm going to start establishing a short position here, I think, if we can. Yep. There we go. All right, we're out. Now we're up about 300 total, about 900, 800 since the open. I do like shorts here. I think Tesla and Nvidia are up a lot. and eventually they run out of steam sometimes, but see if this just falls quickly. It's kind of what I'm expecting it to do. All right, we're in one short. We're gonna keep it small, so if we're wrong, we'll be fine. I don't know, Nvidia's kind of set itself up to maybe run again. Tesla could too. I just gotta be prepared to cut this quick. I'm gonna get out there. We lost $75, so tiny. The reason I'm getting out is because I think Nvidia and Tesla have kind of had a little 1 minute pullback where they could run again. So I'm changing my bias and my sentiment, and it looks like that change in bias and sentiment is good. You know, the small things are sometimes the things that save you. If we look at the right side of the chart, just so y'all can see why I exited there, Nvidia ran up, pulled back, and now it's primed to maybe make another run. Same thing with Tesla. Tesla ran up, pulled back, and now it's primed to make another bounce. Bitcoin's still shooting up too, and so all that strength there is not something that I want to mess with on a short position. So this is why I always tell people, like, don't copy me, because I change my mind fast, and I think as a trader you have to sometimes. So no, not really. It depends. Not the speeches I'll cover are Powell, and then if a Fed member's speaking, we'll cover the speech, but we don't live stream the speech. Like if they chat on something economics, like related, then we'll cover it. But if not, we'll ignore it unless it moves markets. Do you think Palantir is worth more than Nvidia? Of course not. One's funded, one's looking for funding, the other one's actually funded. All right, so we made another pop. I'm worried it's a liquidity grab here, though. All right, let's take one, take two. Take half off there. Protect it. See if we make another. Tesla's still going here, so I'm gonna add to this. Kind of a risky position here, but we gotta play around. I'm okay with losing this whole account, to be honest. It's Christmas Eve, we gotta do something. Although this is not something I'm liking right here. It's taking too long. There we go. Come on, get higher. Got a double top, which is not really my favorite thing, but I think we got some time. Nvidia's still shooting up. See, I'm watching a lot of blue chips, and they're trying to make these waves up, but there we go. They took a piece off. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. Wow. Whew. Wow. What a move here, guys. Our scale in there worked. We're up 700 now on the day, roughly. What a move. High of the daybreak. I'm actually going to short this now. So we can take both sides. A lot of momentum to short. All right, we're in 5 contracts, max size. We got a big cushion on the day though, so we can let it run, but we're trying to make $3,000 today. All right, we took a piece off. There we go. We're gonna unload some of this just because it was against us very quickly here. And I think that little dip gave us an exit, saved us from losing too much. I still want to find the top though, so I'll probably add to this up here. Yeah, I might be rushing getting funded too much. After this, if this doesn't work out, we'll just switch to our regular funded account. There we go. 3 contracts left. 2. There we go. There we go. Getting there. Still up big on the day. 2 contracts now. There we go. All right, so we caught the top that we wanted here. Hey, baby. Merry Christmas. No. I got a robe if you want one. It's actually a little tight for me. It doesn't really fit me. Hey, Rosie, baby. Rosie. Here, it's all right. She doesn't really have much room right here. She's okay. Hey, baby. Hey, come here. She can't fit. It's all good. Here, don't let her force it. Yeah, she's all right. All right, baby. Love you. All right. Yeah, so they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. Yeah, Nvidia is what the market seems to be following today. So watch Nvidia close here. We're trying to make another push. Like, to get funded in this account, we need about $1,000, right? So one good $1,000 trade, we're there. But I'm trying to be calculated. 3, 4. Eesh. That's not calculated. Alright, well, we'll give it a chance here. I do want to trade my actual funded account, so. And I think when you're trying to get funded, you have to go big. The problem is Tesla keeps ripping up over highs. We're flat on the day now on this one, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm trying to be patient, but it's just not working, I think. I don't want to get caught up in a big, crazy run. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. We ended up giving a lot back there. It's okay. Looks like it wants to break highs. Look at Tesla rip it up. Tesla's almost at 450s right now, chat. So Tesla's almost at 450. Yeah, I had to get out there for sure. This might be the Santa rally everybody wants. I'm not usually one for high of the day breaks, but this one doesn't look bad. Yeah, there it goes. You got to think of the momentum of like the holidays and stuff. It looks like I was just wrong on the downside. Betting against the Santa rally down. All right, we're gonna jump in, see if we can like get something, but. See if Nvidia makes a pop. I'm not a big believer in high of the day breakouts, but I think this one might be okay. There we go. I'm gonna go full size here, even though I think it's risky. But if it pops, it's gonna really pop. Nvidia is what's dragging the market up too. Yeah, Nvidia is what's up here. Come on, Nvidia. Broke highs. Drag everything up too. There we go. Yep. Yep. We'll hold this last one. Nvidia just broke highs of the day. Yep. All right, so there we go. We're doing okay. I'm gonna short this now. I'm gonna keep shorting. Give it a second, but and again, guys, like I said, do not trade like this on a normal account. This is me trying to get funded on a 50K challenge account, what's called a combine account on Topstep. Topstep gives you a 50K demo, and if you can make 3K in profit on that demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, right? And so when you're trying to get funded on these accounts, you got to take a lot more risk than you would in an actual funded account or in a live account. There's no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, Russell, gold, currencies in some ways. And so what you should see me day trading right now is called the NQ. It's basically the QQQ price action. It's actually what the QQQ tracks and follows. And so I'm basically day trading the NASDAQ 100 right now. QQQ price action. It is not looking good for me on this one. But again, we're going to switch to our actual funded account here in a second. It's just not looking like my day in this thing. Not unless we retrace big here, which we kind of are. I want to see Nvidia come back down. There we go. Come on. All right, we're going to unload a piece of this to protect our account here. And then add back if it breaks down more. That way, like, this isn't the end of the world. We lost like a couple hundred versus losing much more. Still have a shot in this account too if we want to play it, which I think I will. The problem is Nvidia is starting to rise. There we go. Small breakdown, not a huge one though. I'm not really liking how this is moving either. Nvidia is too close to the high of the day and the high of the last like couple months for me to really be interested here. Am I long? Oh snap, I am long. Okay. I don't want to be long right now. Oh well. Is this a Santa Claus rap? I want the instrumentals. Okay, there we go. All right, look at Tesla make another push. Tesla wants 450, guys. I'm telling you, Tesla wants 450. I'm not going to short this because it looks like Tesla wants to move up over to that 450. We also got to watch Nvidia, though. So if Nvidia starts dumping, we will short. But we got to just sit back and wait. They get back and forth a lot this morning. No, so it costs money, Michael Sampson. It costs $50 a month to try. But that means you're risking something, which is good. Maybe I should have held that short. It's a big red candle. I will short full size if we move back up. All right. Full size short. There we go. Took a little bit off. Took some more off. We'll add that right back if it retraces even more, which, yep. We got that isolated high up there now. We got a little candlestick to fill, but see, Tesla's making that move towards 650 like I thought it would. I thought Tesla would make a move. We got to watch Nvidia too, though. And if I lose this $50, it's not the end of the world, guys. Like I said, we got funded on one yesterday. We're not going to get funded on every attempt. That's not a reasonable expectation. And so we'll just sit back and wait now. Doesn't look, yep, there we go. It's all right. We gave it a good shot, I think. We got close a couple times, but the volatility, I think I was just going the wrong direction on Christmas Eve. We'll switch to our actual funded account. I trade this much differently. So this is a much different way I trade. I'm going to switch to micro contracts now. And again, if you want to check out Topstep, I'll put the link up. Here's the link if you want to check them out. Again, they are an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. Great way to help support the channel. Understand CFTC 4.41. It's just a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk, to where if you lose, it ain't the end of the world, right? Like, when I first started, I lost thousands. I thought I was going to be some savant, prodigy, day trading guru expert. Instead, I just lost thousands of dollars. And I think a much cheaper way to do this is to try this. And I think some traders are going to try this, lose, and then give up trading. And I think that's a good thing, because if they didn't have this, they would deposit 20, 30K, lose, and then give up trading. And so in that regard, it'll just save them some money. Yeah, so we're trading micros now. I will still short, but I'm going to short this, but we're going to take one contract short, so we're going to keep it really small. See if we get a move down, and then maybe add to it if we get some green in it. But bro, oh my gosh, Santa Claus pull up, come get the loot. Yeah, I gotta cut that too. Alright, so we lost 15 bucks. Tiny. If I'm gonna go long, I gotta wait for a pullback though. I don't like buying this high up there. So if we get a dip to like, my problem today is patience, but I'm also like, I was trying to get funded in that funded account, so I trade that much differently than I do an actual funded account. All right, so there's a pullback. Let's watch Nvidia, Tesla to see how these react to this pullback here. Very strong. Tesla's pulling back to 450. It broke 450 now. We'll try to short it, but we'll take up to 3 contracts here and play with this. And we'll add to it if we break down more. See, but there's Nvidia shooting back up too. I'm gonna get out break even here completely flat. The reason I don't like this is because Nvidia shoots up. If Nvidia shows signs of a rejection, we'll play it. Yeah. I'm looking for Tesla and Nvidia weakness before I start shorting. I think we'll come back down to this level here, but I think before we do that, we might break highs a couple more times depending on what Tesla and Nvidia do. So there's the push up. All right, so we're short. There we go. There we go. All right, we took some off there, locked it in. Let's see if we can break down a little bit more on the last little bit. There we go. 2 contracts now. Took another piece of about 20 on the trade. We will add back to this and then see if we can cut it down here. We'll add to this too. See if we pop down. Eesh. I'm not learning from my mistakes today. I think I keep getting punished on the short side, and I keep shorting. There we go. That's better. Let me lower my risk here now. All right, so now we're kind of flat on the day. See, I'm trying to watch Nvidia here too, but Nvidia just keeps, yeah, we're like a little flat. We're probably down a little bit, but not much. I just don't like how extended it is on the upside, and I think Nvidia and Tesla are gonna pull back, but maybe I'm wrong. I could certainly be wrong today. I don't like long. Cajun. I think it's too up there. It's too extended on the upside. And again, I say that and it keeps breaking highs. But we're up too much in both Nvidia, Tesla for me to be super interested in going long. There's got to be something else influencing this too, because let me see, where's Apple at? Apple's testing the highs of the range too. Amazon's up there. Meta's up there. And again, I could like, we're basically flat in my actual funded account. We gotta just chill and wait now. See if the Santa rally continues. Look at these high breaks. They just keep happening. Watch Nvidia. Nvidia is what you want to watch. But Nvidia is not guaranteed to keep going up. My shorts keep getting punished. So I keep thinking we're going to correct some, but then the market just keeps on. There's just running. I gotta just wait. We're not really in any area that I like it on the both sides, up or down. I'm not going to keep shorting it, but I don't want to keep longing it as well. We're up there, right? Like, what it depends on is Nvidia right here. Like, will Nvidia run, pull back? So watch Nvidia right here. I'm gonna put the chart up big. You see Nvidia? So Nvidia over the VWAP, over the 200 exponential, testing that high of the day here. This is why I slowed down my trading, is because, like, Tesla already broke the big milestone level of 450. And so a lot of the time we'll push up, test those levels, and then come back down. Nvidia is still trying here. So Nvidia is still trying to get back up. I don't know what I want to do with this, though. It's the holiday, guys. So, like, we're going to take maybe 1 or 2 more trades. And if we lose on that, we're just not feeling the market correctly. We're just going to bow out with a small loss on it on the day. I'd rather that than, like, take some big risk level or something, you know? Okay, both of these look weak. I'm going to start shorting. And I know some people in chat are going to yell at me. But I'm okay with trying to catch this fall from grace up here. But who knows? We're going to take 2 contracts max, though. And if we lose $20, $30, we'll bow out for the day. I'm going to take half of it off already. Yeah, I'm just being dumb today, guys. This is my fault completely. I'm tacking a super strong market on the short side. I'm going to get out of here. Definitely not my day. And, yeah, I'm being dumb. I don't like how up we are. And I'm watching Nvidia and Apple and Amazon, but it's all good. We lost a very small amount on our actual funded account. So, and we got funded on an account yesterday, too. So we got a couple of them. But yeah, not my favorite day. We'll see if Bitcoin can break 100K on the upside. Bitcoin's getting kind of close. Bitcoin futures are up to 97,500. Chat, 97.5K. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys. We could all sit here and be like, oh, John, you should have done this. You should have done that. In the end, like, some days we read the market well. Other days we don't. And today's definitely one we don't. But losing days are inevitable. Like, everybody loses, you know. I'm used to it. And so it's all good. We'll see if we keep running up. Now that I'm out of my shorts, I want the market to push up, actually. Like, I genuinely want the market to go up. I'm okay with it going up. And I'm green. I'm pretty green in my swing trades as well today. So lost a little bit day trading, up a little bit on our swing trades and investments. And so it's not the worst day it could be. And with that said, I hope we continue running up. I hope Nvidia continues. I hope Tesla continues. I hope Bitcoin continues too. All of that benefits me as well. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, join our Discord, guys. Completely free, doesn't cost a penny. So join our Discord. Hey, I hope you guys have a happy holidays. The Grinch ate my money today, but it's all right. Yeah, no, I'm not going long right now. I'm already long in a lot of different investments and swing trades, and I've been long and I'm green. So I'm not gonna buy a day trade right here for sure, right? And honestly, it's looked like this since this morning at the opening bell. Like literally since the opening bell, it looked like we were kind of extended here, and we just kind of kept. And so Santa showed up today, honestly. I should have listened to my thumbnail. Can I get a quick Lambo when joining the Discord? No, but you can get a pinata and a Ford Pinto, okay? Sometimes, maybe not. You probably won't get one, but you know, in the end, it's all love. Hey, y'all check out our Discord. It's free. Doesn't cost a penny. Check out Topstep. If you want to learn to day trade, I would have lost much more if I would have funded my own account today. And so learn from me, guys. Limit your risk. Try a funded account program. Check out Topstep. Here's the link. Have a great day, guys. I love you all. Y'all have a good day. Again, be careful today. Honestly, day trading's tough. I actually read it better in pre-market than I did here. So it's all love here. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, we got jobless claims numbers, I think. Right? So we got jobless claims numbers. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Love y'all. Have a great day. Have a happy holidays. From my family to yours. Hope you guys have a great holiday, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Right? Is it Thursday? Today is Tuesday. Yes, it's Thursday. I'll see you guys Thursday morning. Later, chat.